moment here. Come on. Nailed it. New recruit. Grizzly bear hunting Jet. Where's Jet? I feel like we should all pull in on that. Where's the bear? There it is. Let's do drafted hunt, people. Get it. Smoked it. Alright, Snow. I was looking for something to equip you with. We need to organize this nightmare. Alright, all we have is a Mauser. It's better than nothing, though. Should have got himself equipped up. Oh yeah, we gotta set that dude's work up. And also tell him to fight. Fight! We're gonna put him on this side of Snow. All the people on the end are gonna be non. I guess that's fine for medicine. Anyway, all the people on the end are gonna be not a part of ideology. Was I just doing work? Alright, he should straight up just start smelting all this crap in here. Oh, he's gonna make blocks instead. Darn it, this is eating a lot of power for not being used. How many blocks do we have? We have not a ton. Let's see, what's the radius? I guess I'll let him work through that radius, and then we'll have a little more. And we'll go from there. You know what? On another note, Snow here is rather social. And there's a role unfulfilled. Let's make him the captain. Welcome to the army, friend. I know you were in the German army. Now you're in the Allied army. What are these tumbleweeds coming through? Why are there tumbleweeds? That's so bizarre. I guess if it were outside, it'd be one thing. There you go. Dude's in charge now. He should have a bed over here. Alright, does that... The kind prisoner, does that ease your issues any? Oh, he's a night owl too. So we still desperately need a dedicated researcher. I mean, I could put everybody with any skill on that on a 4 if they're not already. It's gonna be tough to figure anything out with this lot. So I've accepted a quest for the Liberation Deliverer. Watch for opportunities to gather information. But hey, look, now he's researching. I'll be darned. There's Russians about. There they are. Okay, hopefully, no, they're all allies. So I think my new best talker is Snow. Yeah, he is sleeping because he's a night owl. But there you go. All right, trade with those. They all pretty much have the same thing, but they buy wood in abundance. So. How are we doing for meds? I could probably buy a few. I think the medicine, this is one of those biomes you'll get sick more often, so I think the medicine is going to be a good play. And I'm going to sell like 1,100 wood. That should clear out some space. I could get I like the helmets over the hats because they don't they don't take shots to the head that go right through them. Okay, now we have the Americans coming in too. It's a busy day over here. Alright, good, look at this. We are getting rid of crap. I think I told them to get rid of anything that was poor. Well, clubs first. What is this? This was clubs. This was anything poor or awful. No matter how many hit points it has, we're dumping it. Nobody buys it, so it's like... Snow. We'll talk to that clown. They'll buy wood also. I should probably put up a bunch more wood chopping jobs and get going a little more in earnest on security. I think I'd feel a little better about that. I don't really think we need anything from these dudes. So did we chop all the trees? Yeah, we did. Okay, orders. So, a couple options then. Do we try to enclose this outside? Which makes very little sense, I think. We can always like come up here and claim part of this too if we need more space. We can even tunnel through here and make rooms because there are no insects in this game. It's almost easier just to put grow zones in and then get them to do it that way with something that's really fast to plant and then just build walls over it. I don't know. There's too much to do here. Okay, I think I'll start with that. I don't know if this strategy is going to work, but I think we put barricades on this side of the open swamp. Clear cut all the trees. Maybe just turn it into cropland for things we can sell while we're recruiting our army. Also, we need to be doing granite wide open, so there's that. Why don't we make a stockpile over here for granite chunks, and then they'll dump them there, right? That should pan out just fine. Chunks, granite, bam. And then make this guy not so critical. Okay, it already isn't. That should work out, right? Guess we'll see what happens. And we don't need this overlay anymore. Now we're working like a well-oiled machine, right? I'm gonna do some more floors through here too. Put a ton of tree chop jobs in. A wood floor is heavy, huh? That's really interesting. Really odd furniture. No, we want structure. Just give me a basic bridge then. There. Somewhere to stand anyway. I just don't want trees growing up in my little hallways like that one is. Probably can do that elsewhere. Just so that when fire comes, it's sure to spread everywhere, right? Alright, does that cover most of it? Yeah. Well, they're making decent progress on this. I'm going to do some mining over here too, because I think we're going to need some overflow storage for things like wood. Maybe I can put my buildings over there. My tents. Whatever other buildings I may have around. Might be a stray bed somewhere that I can't see. I have an inspired taming. I think I'd have to at least use that on something and then just slaughter it, right? I think that's probably the play. I guess we go for the biggest thing we can, right? And then snow. What's your... I should have checked his skill first. 4. That's not going to cut it. That is definitely not going to cut it. What do you need to tame a buffalo? I have no idea. Well, whatever. So I disabled the job here, enabled the job here, mostly because we just need to clear stuff out of our storage. And there's so much just garbage in there that we can smelt. Do these knives get a quality? They do. Good. So all that stuff will just get dealt with. No one's buying it. Why am I sitting on it? And if it's not poor or less quality, we'll keep it around and figure it out later. For now, though, we got a lot of smelting to do. Very tempted to floor these up to keep plants from growing in. But you might be able to do something like put a grow zone in and just disallow sowing. But they might keep it clear despite that. I think that's a worthwhile test. So really the goal here is to keep anything from... Ah, gosh darn it. Disallow, disallow, disallow. There's a little one here. So the goal is to keep trees from sprouting in there. We'll see if that works. Otherwise, they have that section done. So I think we move on to the next. I don't even know if this strategy is going to be complete garbage or if it's actually going to work, but here we are. There's a carcass down here too. Let's get those hauled. Let's get that dude dealt with. It's nice to finally get something going that feels a tiny bit more secure. At least we can control where people are coming at us from, for whatever it's worth. And a door, please. So if we could get this whole area cleared, it kind of Actually, it doesn't do us a lot of good. We need more barricades, which isn't a big deal either. But once we get the trees taken out, I think that's oops, there's too many overlays. Get them out of here. That's the key. No, so they didn't chop that tree. Yeah, I guess I could floor it up with wood, and then when a fire starts, we're going to be in one hell of a problem. Alright, I don't want this zone. I do want to delete all these zones. What's the right thing to do to keep these trees from growing without having to floor this mess? Ideally, we'd remove all the trees in a big radius and then do something to keep them from coming back, and then have barricades set up so we could shoot at people that were out there. I could probably bridge this and put wooden walls on the bridge just to get it closed off. Why don't we try that? We have infinite wood here, right? I could do stone bridges. They take more damage, I suppose. No, it says I can do it. Well, can I build a wall on that? That'll be the next question. And also, when we start getting attacked, these bridges are going to get smoked by mortars, which I guess is okay. So, back to Nadi. Can we do anything? Can you convert now? No. Do I have a conversion ritual here? Perhaps it's just a part of my ideology where we're not converting people. I was hoping somebody would sort this out for me in the comments. You guys are pretty good at that. Knowing what the hell I'm doing dumb, I guess is what it comes down to. I do need a way to get my truck out of here at some point, but in a pinch I could just move some walls out of the way. Not that big of a deal. Inspired taming for fixer this time. Bio? Animals, still level 4. It's not doing me much good. Somebody get this rabbit out of here and this rat. And this rat. Try not to shoot each other in the process. What is that? That's a human. It is a person. I want to see how this plays out before I do much else. Okay, this is bad. Where's Fixer at? This is bad, but it's the first time it's happened. She's one of my starting pawns. Everybody, there's fire. There's fire everywhere. I'm just going to keep home zoning it as she builds it. She's still at it, people. Don't let it go. If we let this forest start raging before we get... she did not calm down. Did she calm down? Yeah, she did. Nice. Somebody talked her down. That's fantastic. Hey, dude, it's not cool. Think about what you're doing. You're going to kill us all. Oh, yeah, you know what? That opinion makes pretty good sense. It's pretty obvious that I would kill us all if I kept... Ooh. What is this? What happened to this muffalo? Grizzo got him. Thanks, Grizzly. We can really use all that extra meat. There's a Volkswagen. We are definitely in Germany. Apologies for that. It's funny that it actually does look like a Volkswagen. Like a Beetle. Kinda. Not 100%. You get the idea. Okay, look at this. So. Oh, snap. We can do it. We're good. We're totally good. This ain't good. Boom rat. So, speaking of fire, this is not going to be great. I guess we just have to do what we got to do and then sort it out later. Let's just go here and see if we can catch them in the swamp, maybe. I think I have steel won't burn mod active. How many of the bastards are there? They're moving. They're hauling. Naughty on the edge. Everybody, give them hell. There we go. This is not going to go well. Yes, that went okay. Hey, we caught him in the swamp. No complaints. One fire. Look at, okay, a couple fires. That certainly could have gone worse. I'm not displeased with that. Fixer's like, I'm not putting out fires, dude. You guys are on your own with that nonsense, huh? And then we got a couple boom rats to eat. Hey, look, they got the muffalo dealt with already too. Okay, yeah. Wonder what if you had some like Civil War era mods, and you had, you know, like cannons. What do I have? I don't even know what I have for that type of stuff. Rim World War II. We have uniforms. That's everybody. We have weaponry, anti-tank equipment. Those are grenades of some type, stick bombs, Panzerfausts. Heavy industry. I was just looking for like cannon. Oh, I did put nukes in. In a pinch, we may need to nuke the Ruskies. We do have to take out all their bases. So one thing we desperately need here is more granite. And I was really hoping we'd get through this. I was going to put some extra storage over here. Or at least organize this scheisse better. I was putting little wood shelves all around just to get them out of inside of these structures. There's no great spot to stick a bunch of these shelves. But wood-wise, we're doing fantastic. Did I bridge anything else? Just over here. I'm not too worried about wooden bridges over here, but this is going to be great if we can drum up the material. So I think what I'm going to do is unsuspend this job and just turn this thing off for now. What's the priority? We know the priority. Security, not dying, etc. So let's, okay, there's a lot of granite on the map. Let's not grab that much. There's 100 of them. That's still too many. Keep zooming in there. 46. All right, and now we're doing for steel. We have almost 1,000. And I'm thinking of mining into here. Like if this works well, I could totally expand this out to here, claim this area. This area is watery, so what's the point? But we can still bring it out and come down to here. I don't know. Now we have all kinds of options. I don't know if that's a mod. I think it is. I don't think you could make stone bridges and put stone walls on those bridges in vanilla. Also, let's hope they're not super fragile. Like the wooden ones always were. A mortar fire, like one hit from a mortar and it was splat. I will say, I'm feeling a lot better about this now that I know I can get some legit security in this heck hole. And now it'd be kind of fun, right? I still want some trap corridors. I think these bigger raids would be easily dealt with if I had some trap corridors. I also don't want to do anything that's going to encourage too much mortar fire, given that our base is mostly wood. Probably should stop building out of wood here shortly. I can push my cropland down to this section, and then I take over some more buildings. I might have to rebuild things out of stone instead of wood, which doesn't make a ton of sense. Ugh, flirting frenzy. Like, hey, here's an inspiration that's absolute shit on a pawn that's already socially attached. Here you go. Here, good job, mod. Sorry, I find that very frustrating. So worthless. Okay, we're back to bridges. What was that? Chunks of spacecraft came down. Granite bridge, steel, concrete, reinforced. Heck yeah, man. Options are good. I'm gonna just keep these bad boys kind of kitty cornered. I don't know. Go like that. Go like that. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I almost have half this mess closed off, which I would have thought impossible not too long ago. We're very short on granite. The Soviets are returning with a logistics caravan. It's good because we have a lot of wood to sell, and the stuff is laying all about. So Snow as our leader. I want to put my best doctor in one of these caps here. What's your name? Tail? All right, Tail. I suppose. All right, there we go. We're going to be mostly armed with short-range stuff here. Kind of a problem. Where'd all my crap go? So I think I need to organize stuff like uniforms and such that we want to use. This storeroom is trash at this point. So let's just get going on some shelving. That should work. I'm going to organize what goes on to these straight away. All right, now if we could just get the shelf built. I don't know where all my stuff keeps disappearing to. Oh, they must have No, he put it in here, I guess. We may just have to throw the apparel for people we're not friendly with out in the dirt at this point. We're storing too much like German stuff that no one's gonna buy. I'm wondering if we can get far enough to get space trade set up, which, since we haven't done a lick of research to speak of at this point, seems unlikely. I'm gonna shrink this zone. Keep that outside. Anyway, yeah. And space research doesn't necessarily make sense in this environment, but there you go. So if I just made a zone transport pod crash. Delilah, could you be any farther away? No immediate danger. We're not even going to make it there before she gets up. Quick sleeper, but depressive. Minds. Nobody does intellectual on this in this world. What's going on? Depressive, -12. I think we're going to let that one go. I don't really want the mental effects of that dragging me down here. Why don't we just start dropping blocks on the floor? Drop on floor. And why don't we stop putting blocks in here? All these shelves. I just built them to take up space. But it's, yeah, it's too much. They're just taking up, they shouldn't be putting that in here. Actually, these are all preferred. All I really got to do is make this important. And why is that still there? Jeez Louise. So much going on. And yeah, okay, now they should all end up out here. I don't really need these things in there. And there are 4 manhunting links coming in. Though it's going to be really nice when I have a trap corridor, people. As for now, there's few options other than to try to catch them out. Maybe the Russians will deal with them. They are leaving. No, of course they're going the opposite direction. We should just follow the Russians down there. Hope my weapons do what they're supposed to here. Okay, you hit the wall. Yank. You know what? It's fantastic that you listen. Every time you give an order the first time, he disobeys. And then after that, seems to do what you want. Oh, I think we managed. Don't shoot, Yank, for the love of everything. Holy, get back over here. Get back. All right, we made him hiss angrily. There we go. We've toasted one. I think there's only 4 total. We might be able to keep running gunning these fools, but they're way quicker than us, so that seems... Some of these guns don't slow them down. Some of them do. Nice work. We got 2 more. Keep it up. Keep it up. Don't let them get to you. Oh. Oh. Oh, gosh. Got him. All right. Hunt that one. Haul them as you were. Hey, we didn't even take any injuries there. That's fantastic. Whew. Well, I've finally set up some apparel policies. So our 2 officers are set up properly for friendlies, United States. For Russian officers, the rest are Russian soldiers. How many of these bad boys are on the map? Just the one. Are these guys just moving in to help you immediately? Okay. Okay. Hopefully they brought some granite block with them, because we can't keep up making granite block. There's more friendlies showing up. What is going on that all of a sudden all these friendlies are just showing up? I have no idea, but it's a totally worthless quest unless somebody comes to attack me in the time that they're hanging out over here. So this big section of wall will be done shortly. I love the firefly effect. That's pretty stinking cool. Until they start self-taming anyway. Then it gets a little weird, but... yeah. So I got my boy here who's doing that. I think Snow. It's doing nothing but making chunks. Building some storage over here. But this is back to fine. I am going to put certain things in here that I don't want elsewhere. So this is going to be for buildings. Critical, clear, buildings. There you go. Let's see what we got for buildings. We don't really need this zone anymore then. And everybody's very uniform. Who's my doc? Best doctor we have. I guess that's going to be Jet at a 5? You're shitting me. I thought I had decent docs. Alright, once somebody hits 10, we'll give them a medical helm. I do have a couple officer hats, but I don't think they're offering much protection. In fact, they're offering 0 protection for the head versus one of these helms, which is offering armor for the head. Well, I'm going to have to call it for today, so please leave a like if you're enjoying, leave a comment to read them all I do, respond. I am going to push this out at some point. Now that I know I can, I would have started like up here. And then over here, I'll probably go whatever. I want to encompass this in case we ever get around to the research. Looks like Yank is running out of things to do now that we've chopped all the trees. I need to stay on top of like keeping the wood out of this area, keeping the trees out of this area. And I'll just work my way around with the chopping. I'm already back to about 3,000 wood, which is good because the Russians tend to show up rather frequently. Alright, so yeah, I love you guys. It's been a hoot. I can probably deconstruct these barricades now. No one should be... Might be wise to keep them in case we get a breach, door goes down, sappers, etc., etc. Anyway, that's it. I love you guys. Next time, people. I'd say next time we'll have this whole area closed off. Sadly, I gotta go through this whole entire swamp with bridges, so it's gonna take a decent amount of material. I'll bring some more of those in.